This video tutorial is for Year 4, Theme, Research and De-Awareness, Unit Key Search, and this is video 1. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a PowerPoint presentation about search engines. So your task is to create at least 2 slides. The first slide must be a slide about the different types of search engines and the logos for those search engines on it. The second slide, at least 1 slide, must be about how search engines work. So you must create a minimum of 2 slides. Now I'm actually going to create more than that because I'm going to start the whole presentation off with a title slide, and I'm going to put search engines in the title, and I'm going to put my name just there. After that, I'm then going to insert a title and content slide by going on to new slide under the home tab, title and content. That's one way of doing it. If I don't want to click on the new slide button, I could just click on this slide here and press enter on my keyboard, and it'll do the same thing. So on this slide, I'm going to create a title that says different search engines. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and collect the logos of the different search engines that I've learnt about. So to do that, I'm actually going to use a search engine to find those logos. So I'm going to go and visit google.co.uk. I'm going to click on the images button for Google and do an image search for Google logo. Press search, and then I've got a whole lot of results that have appeared for a Google logo. Now what's really important is we don't want to get massive pictures and put them into our PowerPoint presentation because the file size will then be very large. So if I have a look at this first picture, you can see it's very large in size, 3,600 by 1,500. I don't need my picture to be that big. So if I go and have a look along, I don't want a logo with 3 different types of logos on there. This one here looks good. It's Google logo. It's quite a small size, 600 by 400. So I'm going to click on that one. And then I'm going to click on a full size image here to get just the picture on its own. Right click on the picture, copy the image, go back into PowerPoint, and then I'm going to just right click outside of this box. I'm going to right click on the screen and press paste, like that. You can see that the picture is now imported onto my slide. I'm going to delete this box actually because I don't want to do any writing. I'm going to click on the box on the edge of the box here, like that, and press backspace on my keyboard. I'm now going to click on the image, and I don't want it to be that big, so I'm just going to resize it. Now to resize something that most people do is they tend to drag from these areas here. And you can see what that does is it makes it distorts the picture. Some other people use this one, which again distorts the picture because it's not at the right proportion. What you should do is drag from the corners and keep hold of shift on your keyboard at the same time, and that'll make sure that the picture stays in proportion like that. So what you'll then do is you can then go back to the internet, click back on the browser window, and instead of Google logo, I'm now going to search for Yahoo logo. Do a search for that. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to look through the logos and decide which one it is I want. This looks like a good one. It's a good size. It's clear. It's on its own. It's the red logo that I want. So I click on that. See full size image. Right click on that picture. Copy image. Go back into my PowerPoint presentation and do the same thing again. Right click. Paste. And then I can move that picture. You can see here that I've actually got a lot of white space around this picture that I don't really want. So I could use, in the format tab at the top, I could use the crop tool. And what the crop tool does is if I click on that, you'll notice that this box has turned to a box with black lines around it. Now when these black lines are here, if I move my cursor over one of these lines, you'll see it changes, and then I can drag these black lines down, and I will crop, which means to cut away those white areas that I don't want, like that. And again, I can use it here at the bottom, and I can cut away those areas I don't want. To take the crop tool off, just unclick the button at the top, and then I can move this around and place it wherever I want. So I'm just going to pause this video now and go and collect all of the other logos for the search engines that I want to put in my presentation. I'll just use the same method by going to the internet and searching using Google's image search to find these logos. Okay, so I've put all of the different logos on my slide now. I've changed the size of them a little bit so they can all fit on. And now I'm ready to create my next slide. So I'm going to go back to the slide panel down on the left hand side, and I'm going to click on New Slide, and I want another title and content slide. On this slide, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write about how search engines work. And in here, it's up to you whether you want to use just text to describe how search engines work, or whether you want to use images to help illustrate what you've learned about how search engines work. Okay, so you can use lots of different methods, but as long as you clearly explain how search engines work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use text and images to explain and describe how search engines work to my understanding. So to do that, what I might do is I might just shrink this text box, and I might have some text down here on the left that explains how it works, and then I might use some diagrams down here on the right to illustrate how a search engine works. So I'm just going to pause the video for a minute whilst I create this slide to explain how search engines work. So what I've done here is I've put in my own words, in 3 bullet points, how I think search engines work. Search engines allow you to search the World Wide Web using keywords. When you type a keyword in a search engine, spider bots are sent out to search all the billions of web pages that have those keywords on them. When all the web pages have been retrieved, they are then organized so that the most relevant results are at the top. And as you can see, I've used pictures to illustrate each bullet point. So I've got my example of a search being done here. I've got an example of spider bots searching through lots of different web pages, and then I've got a picture of results that have appeared. So my presentation has a title slide, title and contents of the different types of search engines I'm aware of, and then an outline of my understanding of how search engines work. And that's what we're looking for from you. Okay? Try not to copy this slide, try not to copy the wording that I've used here, and try and put it in your own words how you think search engines work. And maybe you can think of some better pictures to use than these. Good luck.